Hi, and welcome to the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of E-Webstyle.
I'm Charles Lewis, your Internet Marketing Specialist.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This is podcast number 153. I got it just in time. As usual, we have a tip from our previous podcast, which was, of course, 152. That tip is make sure your link building strategies have adjusted to recent algorithm changes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure that what you're doing to build links this time is consistent with the changes Google is making. No more link farms, no spinning articles, and all of the kind of things of yesteryear that works. Yeah, don't do those right now. They're already a little suspect, and now Google has put things in place to prevent them from even working. So update your link strategy.
If you want to find out more about that whole that discussion that we had on that last podcast, do go back and listen to podcast number 152. Do remember that we are your friendly, local, neighborhood, top position snatchers.
Yes.
Where our mantra is...
Don't be a douche.
Let's see what else we got. If you are in some sort of electric device, go ahead, tweet now, Facebook now, Foursquare. I don't know. You should be able to check into our podcast. Right? Like there should be some way to check into our podcast. Go ahead and do that now. Hashtag
SEO Podcast 153. Tag us at it at E-Webstyle, and we'll retweet you. We'll check it out and everything. So yeah, do that right now.
All right, we got some reviews. Right actually, right now. We'll wait. No, we won't. We got some reviews, and I mentioned last time that we got a Danish review, still making me hungry. It says, hi guys, he sent us an email. Just wanted to let you know that you have a 5-star review in the Danish iTunes from me. I don't know when we'll be able to see it, and last time I checked, which was a week ago, I didn't see it. So here it is. While other SEO podcasts might be more technical and in-depth, Chris and Charles make their podcast one of the most entertaining podcasts I've listened to. I do have a huge list of podcasts that I listen to driving the Danish roads daily, but Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing is always the first thing coming out of the speakers. Punch in the face for the show in general and for your sound quality getting better and better. And this is from Magnus, updateidea.com.
Magnus, kinda.
Yeah, it's like a...
You know what I'm saying? I'm a little suspect about it. Appreciate the listening, and thank you for the compliments, but, I thought that we were pretty in-depth with the content.
Technical, yeah. So our other reviews certainly point out that we have great content, and we actually we're like the Red Bull of SEO podcasts. Here's another one. So I don't even know what to do with this. I don't know if I add a tier, if I chop off an arm. Here it is.
2 stars?
Yeah, 2 stars. Jim Morton. Get to the point.
Oh, no time limit.
That's the title. A lot of people seem to like these, so maybe there's some good stuff here. But I honestly didn't hear it. After 10 minutes of the host chatting with their guests about the day's news, I turned it off. Well, maybe that was a fluke, I thought. So I listened to the second one. It lasted 5 minutes this time. If I'm going to devote time to a podcast, I want one that talks about the subject at hand and not the host's feelings about the president. Not my cup of tea. And
talked about the president? Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure we have. At least the president of us.
Something. Yeah.
Whoever that was that day. I think what I find really, first off, 2 stars. Like there was nothing. You found nothing of value in our podcast, and still gave us two stars. Like that's a little crazy. Second, it made me think back when I was in college, we had this drink, and it was called an ass kicker, and basically it was a little tiny shot shaped on the top, and then a bigger container area, and you'd have a shot and a chaser. So like rum and Coke, right? Mm-hmm. And invariably, and this is no offense to girls, maybe it was just the girls that I was hanging out with at the time, you would give them that shot, they would take the shot and stop. And all the chaser was at the bottom. So the process of the glass is drink the whole thing, and all you taste is the chaser. And invariably they would stop at the shot. He didn't get the chaser. He stopped at the shot. Not once, but twice. Yeah. Like, why would you listen to 10 minutes of a podcast and then switch to the next podcast? You need to listen. It's just bizarre.
Well, I mean, he said, he's looking for meat.
Yeah.
He's not a vegetable inside this person. He wants the entree.
Yeah.
I like appetizers.
Yeah.
Then an entree.
He just took the shot.
Yeah.
And quit, and then complained about it with 2 stars, which I don't get. Anyway, thanks, Jim, for giving us feedback. We're aware of you. Infotainment, Informertainment with an occasional punch in the face. This is from PA Houselink. Thank you out there.
PA Houselink. It's Bill. What's up, Bill?
Yeah, these guys are as entertaining as they are informative. It's like they specialize in informertainment and SEO. We got another word we got to add to our Informertainment. It just makes me think informer. I don't know what the rest of that is.
Yeah, that's all I know too. The rest don't make you don't matter though. It's just
reggae. Watermelon.
Exactly.
Think I found them on Podcast 101. Listened to a few. They had to download it. Then boom boom down. He listened to a few and then had to download and listen to all the previous episodes. Do it. It'll help you understand all the inside references. Now I tune in every Friday at 9:15. No, wait, 9:30. Well, okay, 9:45. Okay, 9 or 10-ish hour to get them live. Because you just calls it like it is.
Hey, that's extremely awesome and honest.
Yes. Seriously, though, they do need to be commended for giving up their time and information for free so we can help ourselves rank better. I'd say more, but I don't want to run over the Geno time limit, episode 20-ish. Good. Now we have the reference because I don't even remember
what episode that was.
And that is from Bill. Thank you, Bill. That's up. Thank you so much. PAHouselink.com. Go check him out. He's always there for us and usually tuning in. So cool. He's probably even in right now. Hello, Bill. Now we have our algorithm cataclysm. Panda 3.7. So I got this off of I can't remember SEO News Watch. SEO, I can't remember which one. Panda 3.7, I'll get it right on the next one. Came out June 8th, and Panda in general is where they're re-evaluating links and local search. And Charles,
so I mean, what they did was they didn't make a change to Panda, but what they rolled out what was called a data refresh update. And so I think what they did was all of these sites and everyone who was affected by the previous Panda updates, they kind of cleaned it up some and ran it again. And that was done last week. So if something happens, let us know. This is how your site ranks if you increase or decrease in rankings.
I think that once again they said 1% change in searches, both U.S. and nationally.
Yeah, like, we
don't listen to that anymore.
Yeah, because 1% to them is
billions.
Yeah. And it seems like it's always my clients.
Yeah.
Because not in regards to ranking this time, but more importantly,
not
I think
available.
About I forgot which update that was. The when they made the changes to protect user data, keyword data, and so all of my accounts that in analytics, their most search phrases are not provided.
Yeah.
And so and according to Google, that was only going to affect 3% of people, and that's clearly not the case.
Yeah, clearly not the case. And also with them rolling out G Plus and putting more emphasis on G Plus, which will, as people engage with it, will require more Gmail accounts. Boom, all data gone. I saw this in the news. Is Apple going thermonuclear with iOS 6? I don't know if you've seen this in the news. From Steve Jobs' book, his biography, that he talked about going thermonuclear on Google. It was specifically in reference to mobile devices, because he felt that Google was taking a lot of the technology that Apple had created, and not just Apple and others had created. And there are two big changes. This article talked, I thought was pretty interesting. One of the things, even as Steve Jobs is saying that, he's also saying, and we're going to continue to use their search because their search is the best. And one, everyone's aware of Siri, and one thing I hadn't thought about is Siri is actually now kind of a layer on an iPhone between the user and Google. So it's a way. Not all Siri searches end up
on a Google search.
And on Google search, especially anything related to your phone. What's my schedule on Thursday?
Yeah, that's
internal. And the latest version of iOS 6 took away maps. Now they're using their own maps, and actually they're using their maps with Yelp. Yelp results, Yelp information on it. So those are kind of two big things, because Google always had locked in maps.
The map share.
Yeah. So that's they're saying it's not thermonuclear, and it really is moving in a particular direction away from Google. And speaking of Yelp, Bing is using Yelp results for local content, and we were talking just kind of briefly before the podcast that it's probably really smart, because Bing has a challenge, and it's challenging in general to get people to write reviews about stuff. It's an extra step. There's almost no benefit for the user.
And then with Bing, not only that, but their share of the market is so small in comparison to Google that it's going to take even that much longer to build up the sort of user base that people can actually leave a review.
Yeah.
For a couple reasons. One, Google has accounts. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is no Bing mail.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you don't have a Bing account per se. So you don't, how is their verification process in regards to using creating a review?
Right.
They had to import or purchase or partner with someone like Yelp. I'll say partner. They didn't purchase them, but partner with Yelp, because Yelp brings in a ton of already reviews
and users,
ton of users, of infrastructure, layout, and then the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So I think that was a good chess move to them. Kind of catches them up. I also think it's a reason that Google dropped them. So you know, one man's trash, another man's treasure.
Yeah. Well, and we were talking. You came out with the ultimate answer. I postulated, is Bing going to do the same thing? Are they going to use Yelp? Because remember, Google was displaying Yelp results on Google Local Places pages, and then there was this hoopla about whether they could display it or not. Google said, okay, we'll just pull all of your stuff off, and Google was able, because of its user base and because they have users. You're right. Bing doesn't necessarily have signed in users. They may have a lot of users, a lot of people who use Bing search. Frankly, most of them are because you buy a new Windows machine, you open up IE, and the default search engine is Bing. That's probably where 90% of their searches come from. It's actually kind of amazing that Google's still so high, because what it means is somebody actually has to go to google.com, because a lot of people don't know how to change the
default search.
The default search. They actually have to go to google.com and then do a search instead of just typing right there in the main bar. Probably another mistake in IE. I hadn't thought of that.
Well, that, and you can give credit to the browser, because Chrome became the leading browser.
Yeah.
And so that default search is Google.
Yeah.
That's so
true.
I log on to IE with my brand new computer. I use my Bing search one time
to find
Chrome.
Download Chrome. Done.
And so, yeah.
And by the way, here we use a lot of browsers for a multitude of reasons. One of them is we need to check search results when we're not being manipulated, logged in, or tracked.
Well, that, and then we like to make sure that sites display the right way in different browsers.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's blanks there. We'll get to that later.
Okay. Speaking of tracked, you guys can track us. Yeah. You can find us at facebook.com/E-Webstyle or twitter.com/E-Webstyle or youtube.com/E-Webstyle. And you can email us at podcast@e-webstyle.com. All right. Again, we are the most popular SEO internet marketing podcast because of you. We've got 7,000 downloads on a weekly basis and in 64 countries. That's our current count.
And shout out to Magnum. We are at like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is where you're supposed to start listening.
You're
skip forward next time.
The shot is over.
You're chasing.
Now you're going, oh, that's so strong. You should have had your chaser. Here it is. Today we're going to talk about top 10 tips to a great web page. we're not just straight up how do we get traffic to a website, because if you send a ton of traffic to a website and it doesn't convert and it only creates bounces, and we'll call them negative bounces, because we actually believe some bounces are good, then what's the use? What's the use of all your effort? What's the use of spending your money, your time? This is an article by Jennifer Kiernan, and that's Kyrnin. It's actually on about.com. And it is titled Top 10 Tips to a Great Web Page.
Well, and one of the things to keep in mind is that, usually, probably 85-90% of the time, your website is the basis, is the foundation of your internet marketing campaign. Your SEO is optimizing that site. Your PPC made land pages on that site. Your social has links coming back to that site. If you're blogging, all of your posts are on that site, and so that website is the basis. And so the reason we went to this article here is because a lot of people still come to us looking for marketing, and their websites, suck. They're under par. And so if you won't let us redo your site, we can give you some tips.
Do it. At least do it yourself and do it well. So first one is, we've got to blow through this. Keep your focus on fast pages. That's true. I think it's certainly less true than it used to be when we were on dial-up. And I don't know what is the date on this article. When we were on dial-up, it was paramount, because I think you have about 3 seconds before people will hit the back button and try another page. Now you just want to make sure you got decent practices. Make sure that you're not taking images from your phone or from your camera and putting them directly on a web page. Make sure you're reducing those.
And when you talk about page optimization, that's included. It's more than just on-page SEO type stuff, but optimizing images, optimizing your code, if you will, to make sure that your pages load up extremely quick. The last thing you want to see is a placeholder where an image should be, and there's this slow image loading. Because you just went directly from your camera to your WordPress page.
And just so you know, if you take that image and you bring it into any sort of web editor and you grab a corner and shrink it, you are not shrinking the size of that image in terms of how much space is needed to upload it.
Keep your pages short, but not too short. Writing for the web is different from writing for print. It depends. Yeah. I think it depends on the industry. We have a client who does human capital consulting. Very informative, research heavy sort of industry. And so their pages are long. The content's long, but it is necessary for the conversion of their clients. And we have a different client who sells, office products, very short, right to the point, brief description, order now. And so I think it really depends on the industry and what you actually offer.
Yeah, I think the other thing is really it just has to be written relevant. For instance, we've talked about an AC page can be a one-page close, can be a kind of a quarter-page close. Mm-hmm. Somebody's looking for AC work. You boom, here you got a unique selling proposition. You got a call to action. Boom, you can close it. Another example we've given is we've got a home siding company. That's not it could be a one-page close. It is definitely not a quarter sheet close.
A one-page close for them will generate a bad lead.
Yeah.
Someone who actually goes through that long page, all of the content, looks at the images, reads about the James Hardy products, things like that. More informed person, so when they do get to the form, they'll probably be a better and easier conversion.
Yep.
Number 3 says good navigation on your website is critical. Check.
Yeah.
Not too much to say about that.
Yeah.
I will say this though, in regards to your navigation, make sure that you still follow kind of traditional link sculpting rules. Make sure you have the most important links in the navigation is links. Make sure you have the most important links in the navigation first.
Yep.
Keep in mind that most information that's in the footer, links, terms of service, privacy policy, things like that, usually have low value, so don't bother optimizing down there.
All right, I thought this one was good. Keep images small and use sprites whenever possible. Mm-hmm. First off, I don't do the CSS coding around here, so I was like, what's a sprite? Sounds light and airy.
Lemon limey.
Oh yeah, lemon limey. Okay, we already touched on keeping images small. There's a thing in CSS called sprites, and what it enables you to do, if you've got an image that shows up on every single one of your web pages, by using a CSS sprite, you can actually download that image once, and then every time you go to the next page, it doesn't have to re-download that page, which, by the way, is what typically happens as you go from page to page, even though it's the same image, same logo, same whatever.
Yeah, usually it's the header, sidebar, and probably footer. If those areas contain data and or images, then the information is usually the same.
Yeah.
And it's the main body area that tends to change. Number 5, use appropriate colors. That's a no-brainer. I think if you're designing a website yourself, show it around to some people who you don't know.
Yeah.
Before you go ahead and launch it. Make sure you can get an honest opinion.
And don't take it personally when they tell you it's ugly.
Yeah.
Because they're just everything is positive input on that situation in that case. This one I disagree with, and it says write as globally as you can. I kind of agree and disagree with. I think really it should say write for your specific target market.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should be globally as you can. I mean, we can write an article about plumbing, and it wouldn't be related necessarily to Houston. And you're, from an SEO perspective, you're missing the opportunity for plumbing Houston,
yeah.
Right? And why are we writing about worldwide plumbing? They have different toilets in Japan. Okay, so I think it really does need to say write for your target market.
Number 7 says check your spelling and grammar. Check your spelling and grammar.
Yeah. Check your spelling and grammar. And
if the green line pops up, then it's probably something you should right click on and consider revising, like it may say.
Yeah.
Keep links current. Definitely keep your links current. Broken links, the first line here says broken links are another sign for many readers and search engines that the site is not maintained.
Yeah.
I totally concur. If you have links that go to 404 pages, or go to page can't be displayed, or go to non-existent stuff, or worse, go to somewhere else that's been changed but using that same address, fix your links. It's good to kind of go through at least monthly. What I tend to do here is when I'm reviewing reports and analytics and things like that, going through the site, I click.
Yeah.
Click here, click there, click this, click that, just to make sure everything is still functional.
There's a software called Xenu, Xenu. Go check it out. I think it's freemium or freeware or whatever. It's a really good piece of software. Also, when you use it, go ahead and pay the guy because he put together a nice piece of software. What do we got next?
Number 9 says annotate your links. Annotating your links means you should write links that explain where your reader is going to go. That's cool. What I usually do in place of that is just give my links a title, so that way that hovers and it'll tell them where they're going. And more importantly, if it's inside the text, then my anchor text is a clear identifier of where this link is going to go.
I've never. I got to be honest. I've never clicked or not clicked a link because I didn't know where it was going. Like if it was I don't know Houston car repair, I knew I was going to Houston car. Like I'm not sure. I think maybe a better thing than annotate your links, because it feels, as it's described, it feels like I am now going to send you to Houston Auto Care Company and you can get there by clicking here. Yeah. Whereas you could say Houston Auto Care and that's just make sure that you're not, in the middle randomly you say click here, right? Without some without that being descriptive of where it's going.
Context clues. Yeah. Last one, number 10. Put contact information on your pages. That kind of goes without saying. If you want to be contacted, if you don't want to be contacted, then
I would actually go one step further and say put the contact information you want prominently on your page. So if you want a phone call, and we've got clients who don't, if you want a phone call, your phone number needs to be up there with a call to action, call for a free assessment, call for whatever it may be, and it needs to be prominent. If you don't want somebody to call you, no phone number, or maybe a phone number on the bottom, have your form, your short, we recommend a short form, clearly visible above the fold so that you can get your visitor to engage with you with that form. It's not just enough to have contact information. You really need to have that should have a CTA.
Yeah, have a CTA.
Yeah. which is call to action, so that you're driving the visitor to do something. So, excellent. That was a really good article. Again, the article is on about.com. Top 10 tips to a great web page. If you Google that, you'll certainly find it, by Jennifer Karnin, Kyrnin.
Yeah.
We'll call her Jenny. Jenny from
The
About.
I got to play stare real quick when we wrap up. Yeah, this is hand on the chin.
Oh, yeah.
Like rubbing the beard, blank stare.
Like, I can't believe I'm having to do blank stare on this blank stare.
Yeah. This blank stare goes to Apple, and I'm a Mac user, and so we're a little disappointed in this. So the new MacBook Pro does not come with the LAN port.
What?
No LAN port.
No. Only
Only wireless.
Oh, wow.
Only wireless, no LAN port. Which in most instances it'll be okay. I mean, because I use my wireless here, I use my wireless at home, Starbucks and wireless. But there are some instances when I would like to plug in
and get a gig transfer rate now.
Exactly.
I mean, gig is like you work on. Okay, this is interesting, right? Because Macs are graphics, right?
Mm-hmm.
People do graphics. Graphics are large. They're heavy. So if I want to get, if my company's server has all of our
working
graphics,
video.
That seems granted, you can get a LAN port. You have to use like
an adapter with a
that gives you the
thingamajiggy.
ability to get an adapter. Yeah.
You got to add the whatchamacallit to the thingamajiggy,
and then you plug it in.
Yeah.
That's
I would have a LAN port.
Yeah, blank stare. 1 gig LAN port. Yeah, at that. We understand getting rid of the CD and DVD because that's just where it's going to go, because it's being replaced by the LAN port. All right, you have been listening to the most popular SEO and internet marketing podcast on iTunes. That's because of you. We're actually pointing if you're listening, and if you're just listening, you should be watching. There's a couple ways you can watch. You can actually go to Ustream. In fact, go to e-webstyle.com/SEO podcast, and you can scroll down. You'll see a couple of the video links or video embedded videos, and find the archive link for our Ustream so you can watch these. Again, my name is Chris Burris.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.
Yeah, so you decided to do that right when I was swallowing.